Social Studies fans, this is Mrs. Dobb, and I got so excited about the project. And when I looked through what everybody was picking to work on, there was so many people in the class who had picked food, and I saw a lot of pictures coming up while people were searching. So the websites that we have for social studies are so good, but some of the things are hard to read. So in the Very Old Egypt for Kids website, we had this really good food article. So I just wanted to do a read aloud on this food article. I also color coded this document. So when you're creating your presentation for foods in ancient Egypt, you would be able to notice exact foods they ate, how the water was from the Nile, and details of lists of food that you might be able to search for, that you could get definite things that are coming from this really good website for learning for ancient Egypt food. So I'm going to read this out loud. If you follow along as I'm reading, you will definitely be able to increase your reading level by matching what you hear to the words you see on the page. So it's Very Old Egypt for Kids. This is the website. Whenever we copy and paste, we always show our website. So it's about food. Pharaoh wanted his people to eat well. Except for a few holy and untouchable animals, there was nothing to stop the people from gathering and growing food. No one went hungry in Very Old Egypt. Food was roasted and boiled, and fried and dried, and baked and blended. They had plenty of fresh food to keep them healthy thanks to the Nile River. Sorry, my page is jumping. So notice the capital N, capital R. The Nile flows north to the Mediterranean, which is a sea. Each year, melting snow from the mountains in the south caused the Nile to flood on its way north through Egypt, period. As the floodwaters moved back or away, they left behind a rich, life-giving, dark soil, period. It was easy to grow crops in the life-giving soil left behind by the once-a-year flooding of the Nile. I know some people might be working on geography, which is really interesting too. So the very old Egyptians loved garlic. I put this in orange because it's a list of food. They also ate green vegetables, lentils, figs, dates, onions, fish, birds, I'll leave out the commas, eggs, cheese, and butter, period. Their staple foods were bread and beer. Now, when you see beer, later on they're going to talk about it. It wasn't very alcoholic, but you might be wondering why they didn't drink the water from the Nile. Well, it's kind of a science thing to think about. The Nile in ancient times was already a bit polluted. All right, here's green. Breads were sweetened. They didn't have sugar like we have sugar around us in the United States. Breads were sweetened with dates, honey, figs. They repeated dates for some reason. Dates is like a really big thing. The ancient Egyptians had flatbreads. They even had yeast breads. Breads were made with grain, which is eaten for food, and wheat. So I thought wheat was a kind of a grain, but I'm not sure. All right, here it goes to the beer. Beer was the common drink in Very Old Egypt. There were few wells. Most Very Old Egyptians did not want to drink water directly from the Nile. The Nile River offered fresh water, but the very old Egyptians had watched people get sick after drinking the water. So they drank beer made from grain, which they also eat for food. This beer is very thick. It's about as thick as a milkshake. Beer did not have very high alcoholic content, but it was very related to vitamins and protein. So this beer was healthy. I don't think they were exactly getting drunk from this beer. And a most important part of the very old Egyptian daily diet. Beer was also safer than drinking water from the Nile. The Egyptians made both white and red wine from grapes. They added spices and honey to different wines for variety. They made a non-alcoholic fruit drink from dates. Some fish were holy and untouchable. Remember, it's a theocracy, so the leader has to do with religion. But some kinds of fish were eaten after being roasted or dried and salted. They ate pigeons and waterfowl. The rich ate beef, but beef was expensive. They ate pigs for a while, but in the theocracy, the priests decided that pigs were not a good thing to eat, and pork was removed from their diet for religious reasons. The very old Egyptians definitely had a sweet tooth. There was a popular recipe for a fancy dessert made with bread, cream, and honey. They made a bread that was like a cake. Except in times of where time period with not enough rain, when everyone suffered, no one in very old Egypt needed to go hungry. Pharaoh did not complain about his people's food. They were free to fish the Nile and gather eggs. Grain was stored centrally where everyone could reach it, so everyone could share. Here's that word, share. Food was dried and stored in lidded containers. Now the rich people they call the upper class. They ate meat and drank milk. They had wild birds and eggs. They ate a lot of vegetables and dates. Dinner was served on a small table, which was brought to each individual. People ate their food with their fingers. They rinsed their hands between courses and as needed. The lower class ate, that's the poor people. The lower class ate fresh bread, onions, vegetables, fish, eggs, and beer. People ate their food with their fingers while lying on mats woven from reeds. Isn't that relaxing? Like I practiced that at my house. I got a thick rug and I ate dinner while I was lounging around on my mat. So it was fun pretending I was an ancient Egyptian. So I hope you guys have fun thinking this up. If you have to make presentation pages, you could make one page about the blue things, one page about the pink things. I tried to color code this so that you would be able to talk about what was in the different colors if you get mixed up and everything seems too complicated. Okay, so it is color coded. All right, guys, I hope you could listen to this a couple times to get familiar. A lot of people in the class are doing about food. All right, so I'll see you online for now and have a great day. Thanks.